In the video, a Kobelco SK200 excavator is working where the driver accidentally drives it into a mud pit. Due to the thick mud, only the upper part of the machine is visible. After the excavator got stuck, the driver did not rush to rescue it. Since there was mud under the tracks, the excavator sank deeper, so the driver called a tractor to bring logs to the accident site. When the logs were brought to the site, the excavator driver began to place the logs under the tracks. In theory, the driver should have called another excavator to pull it out, but perhaps to save money, the driver did not do so. Once the logs were in place, the excavator driver used the bucket to hook onto the ground and climb up to the shore. When the excavator operator lifts the bucket from the ground, we can see it bringing up a lot of mud. Normally, in such situations, a trapped excavator cannot rescue itself and must rely on external help to get out. However, the operator did not stop to wait for rescue, but instead began using the bucket to clear the mud in front of the machine. After some of the mud in front of the machine was cleared, the driver attempted a second round of self-rescue. The driver tried again to use the excavator bucket to hook onto the ground and crawl forward, but because the mud was sucking the machine in, the second round of self-rescue was unsuccessful. Then the excavator driver adjusted the logs under the tracks again with the bucket. After the excavator operator adjusted the logs, he used the bucket to hook onto another log and began the third round of self-rescue. At this moment, we can see that the machine body seems to show signs of moving forward, and the front of the machine is being lifted higher and higher. If at this time the Kobelco excavator were to place the logs in front of the machine body vertically in the mud as anchor points, the trapped excavator might be able to advance further. However, the driver did not do this, and instead continued with multiple rounds of self-rescue in the same manner. However, due to the lack of an anchor point for leverage, all these rounds of self-rescue ended in failure. Helpless, the driver had to seek external assistance. When the trapped excavator was waiting for rescue, we could see that after some self-rescue attempts, the excavator had sunk even deeper. The engine compartment, which was originally above the mud, was almost submerged. When the camera panned to the back of the trapped excavator, we could see a large amount of mud piled up behind the engine compartment with a lot of water seeping out. If the water content in the mud was slightly higher, the trapped excavator might have already turned into a submerged machine. To rescue the trapped excavator, the tractor driver brought over a log nearly 30 centimeters thick and 5 meters long. After the log was unloaded, a domestic Sani excavator appeared in the scene. When the Sani excavator arrived at the site, the driver immediately began using the bucket to test the softness of the ground. At this moment, we can see the Sani excavator's bucket easily sinking in. To prevent getting stuck as well, the excavator driver placed the logs brought by the tractor under the tracks and then began clearing the mud around the trapped excavator. As the saying goes, there are techniques for clearing silt. First look, second probe, third gradually lower. A solid platform is key, dig far and repair near. Skillfully use the edges and eliminate by maintaining orientation in layers. Insert diagonally and lift using water power. Shake off the mud without spending money. Walk lightly in a straight line with few turns. Lay steel plates to prevent sinking. Observe the mud surface. Retreat quickly if bubbles or cracks appear. When working in water, be careful. Keep the car door open for an exit. Work with the current for high efficiency and ensure smooth coordination between person and machine. Maintain regularly at the end of each day. Cleaning the chassis is key. The tips are reliable and based on experience. Earn money safely. After 81 shovels of clearing the silt, a 30-degree slope was dug in front of the trapped excavator. At this point, the Sani excavator began to place logs under the tracks of the trapped excavator. Once the logs were in place, the Sani excavator laid several more logs on the slope where the trapped excavator would move. Once all preparations were complete, the two excavators began the first round of pulling using a bucket-to-bucket method. At this moment, the Sani excavator operator hooked the bucket onto the ground while the Kobelco excavator used it as an anchor point to crawl forward. Due to being stuck, the front half of the excavator's body did not lift out of the mud, making the first round of pulling very strenuous. Subsequently, the driver of the stuck excavator attempted to use the back of the bucket to brace against the log to lift the body forward. After climbing, the mud accumulated in front of the excavator tracks created significant resistance. Therefore, the Sani excavator operator began clearing the mud around the excavator again to facilitate turning. Once the slope was repaired, the two excavators started the third round of bucket-to-bucket turning. Since the logs used for support were thick and long enough and the slope was well graded, the effect of the third round of pulling was very noticeable. The trapped excavator advanced a significant distance through the mud. Although the tracks of the excavator had completely emerged from the mud, the body was not entirely free, and the excavator remained on the slope. Subsequently, the driver of the trapped excavator attempted to use the bucket to hook onto the ground and climb up the slope. Due to too few logs being used as support, the excavator's body got stuck in the mud again during the climb. Helplessly, the Sani excavator, which was originally planning to finish work, returned. After the Sani excavator fixed the ground, the two excavators started the fourth round of pulling and turning.